All right. Hello to our friends in Facebook land. Let me make sure I can. Yep, we are live. Welcome everybody to our solstice chat. For those that just missed what Tracy was saying, you want to repeat?
Yeah, we're just just gonna go through some solstice activities, solstice times of past. I have some information on the Romans, and maybe we can talk about some of the other pagan, expressions, and then how the witches do it, and how us wayward folks are gonna have some intentions with it.
Yes.
And then we'll get into, our binder blessing later with stars and spells. So yeah, let's just jump right in.
And if you're not in stars and spells, but you want to set some intentions for the year, if you have a planner you're working with, if you've got a record keeping pen or a crystal you want to work with for the year, we invite you to stay on and set some intentions with us as well.
Yeah, I think it's a lovely winter solstice chart. And I've never done solstice stuff. Like I see it with astrology and I hear about the equinox and it's a big deal and blah, blah, blah. But like, I've never engaged with it. And this year, like, it's a really nice chart. So I'm taking it seriously and giving you guys all the tools to come do it with us, play along.
I had a really controversial download the other day about the celebration of solstice. And I'm just thinking, that's really old. Like, is it time to do something new? I mean, maybe that's just for me personally, but it's very reminiscent of doing tradition over and over and over again, because that's what our ancestors and family said we're supposed to do. I know that's a little controversial, but we're wayward like that, right?
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. Like doing it without any intention year after year, that's a problem.
Yeah, right. Just because that's what the witches do. We got to celebrate the solstice, right? Yeah. So that's really what we do want to talk about today is Tracy will ask us lots of good questions about intentions and why we're here. And those are always such expansive questions to ponder on. So
because I'm already thinking about next year solstice with putting intentions right now. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait for that. So I'm getting real excited. You guys are rubbing off on me. I'm going to be a witch by the end of this.
She's doing moon magic and all sorts of stuff at her house. Awesome. All right. Shall we?
We shall.
Dive in. Okay. Oh, sorry, everybody. Right on cue.
If it's not her dog, it's my dog.
Hold on, guys. We're going to shut the door.
Give her a minute. Give her a minute.
He literally does this every time. Let's try this again. Share my screen. And we'll just pretend that that's not disruptive at all. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to download here. Reset. Okay. Welcome to our winter solstice circle. Just have a couple of slides we're going to share with you, and I'm going to send out the Yule guide when I send out the replay. So if you want to dive in deeper to the history, it actually is really interesting. I'll admit I made the Yule guide a couple of years ago when I was talking to Tracy. I actually sat down and reread it. I was like, wow, there's just some really interesting facts here. And it's really fascinating to see how all of the cultures and timelines of how this was all celebrated. It reminds me very much of energy work. Energy work is essentially the same thing, but a different language. We're all just speaking a different language, but we're saying the same thing. So the celebration of that kind of makes me think of that. So anyways, I have this quote here that I really love because this is kind of, how I do work with this energy here of the season. And this is from Llewellyn's Sabbath Guidebook. There's much to be gained during winter by simply adopting a fresh, resolute perspective and plunging into an intentional experience of the winter season. really lovely, right? Because what happens in winter, especially those that are dealing with the cold and the snow and the shoveling and all of that on top of Christmas time and all of the doing and all of the forced activity and tradition we feel we have to, obligation, right? And so again, let's bring this back to our intentions. This is really what we are all about in this
Taking out my.
space. Oh, we got somebody. Who's that? I don't know who that is. This is what the space is really all about, is just conscious creation and intention. I have been running, why do I do everything I do? Right? Do you have an answer for that? I didn't. It took me some years in unraveling to figure that out, but that's really what we're conveying today. I feel like that's really the vibe, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a resolute perspective and plunging into the intention. That's beautiful.
Yes, that's I thought you would like that.
I love it. I wrote it down.
Love it. All right, so let's talk about cycles, especially for those who will be joining us in Stars and Spells. That's really what this is about, is learning our cycles, learning natural cycles, and working in tune with them rather than fighting against them, consciously creating. So in general, winter is a natural time of sleep, right? So in the spring, that's when the seeds are planted. In the summer and in the fall, that's when we harvest what we've planted. And in the winter, the crops are put to sleep. And in ancient times, this is when people, really did work closely with the wheel of the year. And how did this become a time of sleep? Well, during the winter, people would go to bed early, right? We needed to conserve sources of light. We needed to conserve the candles and the oils, and they would stay in bed longer under the covers to really conserve that warmth and save the firewood, right? So that's kind of, how the cycle started, is being in tune with the season. And so in a very real way, people were in sync with those rhythms of nature. Now, what do? We do the complete opposite. This is when most people are the busiest, right? So how can we work more in tune with the season? So winter solstice, as we probably all know, is the darkest day of the year. The shortest day, obviously the longest night. And the solstice marks the turning point where the days will begin to get longer once again. This is the returning of the light. And this is really what we start to celebrate with the solstice. And so fire and light are those traditional symbols of the celebrations. And this is also going to be in the Yule Guide, which again, I'll be sending out to you. But I like the simple ways to work with this energy, because again, this is, for me, solstice is really about getting in tune with my intentions, with the work I've done the last year. What am I leaving behind? What am I stepping into? So introspection for me, that's really all how I celebrate solstice personally. A lot of introspection. I will have already done much of my release work by this point. So it's really where I start doing my reality writing for the year as well. And then for all my kitchen witches, which is not me, unless I'm brewing up oil potions, that I do love to do. But this, stir in some magic into your holiday baking, right? If you're going to be doing it anyway, bring that magic into the mundane tasks. Choose intentions that you want to stir in. And we know Shelley's got that down, right? With her baking, all about stirring that magic. And her people, when they eat her magic filled food, they can feel it. People can feel it. So don't discount the easy way to bring in magic, because it is super powerful.
Hey, I made an award-winning pie.
Oh, you did? That's right. Tell us more.
Yeah, my husband needed a pie for work, and I was so tired and I was so angry, and I did not make it with love. But I didn't know that there was like a contest, and I ended up winning a $25 Amazon gift card. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm an award-winning baker now.
What kind of intention would you say did go into the pie?
There was, I definitely Saturned. I had to do it because he said, can you make something, and can it be a sweet potato pie? And so like, it had to be, I couldn't deviate. Like it just, and I even went to the store and I wanted purple sweet potatoes and they didn't have it. And I was like, they gotta be purple. Like it can't be anything else. And then I was like, all right, well, just, use what let's compromise. Let's keep going. And it's got to be this recipe, this brand new recipe that I've never tried, that I've never tasted, and I don't have the right ingredients. And blah, 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 blah. So we persevered. and he said it was awesome. So I'll find out tonight when he brings me home a piece.
Yeah. Oh, good. You get to try some.
Yes.
You know what I'm laughing about is the communist cookies right now.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I knew Shelley would giggle about that. Oh my gosh. Awesome.
Yeah, it was,
So
it was Shelley that pointed that
I
out.
found-
to me.
Yeah. I found out that my apple pie has converted someone who doesn't eat apple pie.
Oh wow.
Tried it and she's like, this is my best friend. She's like, I don't eat apples. I'm like, you will. She said, I don't eat apples. I don't like apple pie. I'm like, you will. And she ate it and she devoured it.
Love that.
that's because Shelley makes magic treats.
Converted her.
Right? So those of you that are doing Christmas baking anyway, why don't we bring some intention into that, right? For yourself, for your loved ones. Another easy way to celebrate is really candles, lighting seasonal candles, bringing in the essence of the winter solstice celebrations, bringing that light into your home. I have a new light behind me. You can work with scents and colors that make you think of, really the intention is yours. But for me, this energy, really brings that rebirth, that rejuvenation, the celebration of light, and then the warmth of the candle's light, right? Casting that loving glow around your home. Lovely, especially if you're somewhere cold. Even in the desert, it's freezing right now, I feel like, at least for me.
And I love Christmas candles because I love tree smells. I love the real thick tree smells.
Yeah.
I love those wood wick candles. Like it used to be that used to be my little solstice fire, was going to get a wood wick candle that smelled like a tree. And I was like, oh, look at me.
I'm celebrating.
I'm celebrating. Now I have my oils and I have a fireplace, but I still kind of want a wood wick.
I think you should get one. That's your Saturn homework.
I just might.
All right. So other easy way, I love this one. Take time to rest, right? Celebrate the natural cycle of the season. Carve out time for rest and rejuvenation. Nobody's going to give it to you. You have to give it to yourself. Make it a priority. What can you cut out? What is not aligned with you, right? Start making those decisions right now, and get really intentional with all of that, right? Conserve your energy, make it a priority. And it doesn't have to be something that takes up your entire day. Can you give yourself an hour if you love to read, if you want to rest, if there's a movie you want to watch, if you want to color, whatever you want to do. Magical bath, magical meditation hour, time for journaling. If you're in Stars and Spells, you're going to be required to do that anyway. So you might as well just start that now. Whatever makes you feel rested and rejuvenated, schedule that in, put it on your calendar. Okay. And then something I still love to do, I've cut out kind of a lot of Christmas things that don't feel so good to me anymore. But I still love to enjoy the lights, in the neighborhoods and the houses, and getting inspired by the colors and the creativity, and the people who do have fun with that, who love to go all out and decorate. I can still enjoy it through them. And also my favorite is celebrate your own light. Think about how you want to shine in the year ahead, and do that during your magical rest hour and your journaling, right?
Do they all know how I ruined Christmas for you?
I don't think everybody knows.
Well, I ruined full moons for everybody else.
Yeah,
So
she sure did. She enhanced full moons.
So I ruined Christmas for Jen a few years ago, when she just loved Christmas so much that she celebrated all year long. She kept her tree up, she changed it seasonally.
Yes.
And it was so cute. And I said, well, why are you doing it? Well, why? Well, why? Why? And I why'd her so much that she threw away her tree.
Because what happened was, what she was helping me unpack was doing the tree all year. For me, it was fun. For a year, it was about being creative. I was doing a lot of crafting and making a lot of things, and running through a lot of energy. And it was my first year by myself, living by myself, single woman in my own house, right? And so I learned a lot through the crafting, but it was also distraction. Right. And it was to keep me busy and not sitting with myself. And then it just became this habit that, I really stopped enjoying, but still told myself I had to do it. And I love this space now. I love the space, not only in my home, but, of not having a tree for every single season and all the stuff. And it really was for me a distraction. Doing my shadow work journey, tracing all of my traumas and why I am the way that I am, I found a huge pattern of, my trauma was always like around Christmas time or winter time. And so that kind of dive into my obsession with Christmas was really, again, trying to counteract that. But then once I faced that, worked through that, cleared that, empowered myself, I didn't need all of that anymore. So thanks, Tracy, for ruining Christmas. Really, though, I appreciate the space I now have.
You're welcome. Anytime.
So again, these are just kind of some simple ways that I celebrate. I don't do a whole lot of outward celebration. This is very much an introspection time for me personally. And I will let Tracy talk about these lovely images.
Oh, well, I thought, I don't know what the witches do, and I thought they do wreath making, and I've always seen these around Christmas time, and I was like, oh, I could do that. And I could do it, very earthy like. I know you guys love weaving intentions, and I thought, well, what do you have in your backyard?
She says you guys like she's not a witch too.
Or what do you have in your spice cabinet? I know Jamie was making all these dried fruits here recently, and I know that's such a thing to decorate the Christmas trees the trees outside. You see the dried fruits and whatnot, and I don't know, I just thought they were so earthy and so little witchy. I just loved it, so I wanted to show you. And this little wreath here down here at the bottom with the rosemary and the cinnamon, I love that. And this inspired something that I have regrets. I had, I made the decision when I first moved here, like, I'm going to go crazy with an herb garden when I get here. I have this nice big backyard. I'm just going to go for it. And I didn't. I was like, oh, I'll put it off. I'll do it next year. And right now, today, talking about solstice and, just being on Michelle Berry's class with, she was doing the simmer pots. I was like, damn it, I don't have any herbs. And I was so mad at myself because I had saw a post that looked very much like this wreath that was, you take a whole big handful of fresh herbs and you weave them together in a little soup. You turn it into a soup ring so you can dry it. And then over winter, you just throw the whole bouquet of herbs right into the soup pot. And I want that right now. And I'm so mad at myself that I don't have it. So what are my intentions right now is to plant my garden for next season so that I can be harvesting next summer for next solstice.
I love it. So we're going to all hold her accountable and check in on her garden, see how she's doing there.
My medicinal garden, my medicinal magical herbal garden.
That's right. You are getting called out in the chat as well, my friend.
She's already. Are you pretending? Yeah. Yes. I don't identify.
It's just a little, she's not identifying as, it's just a piece within her, right? That rosemary wreath with the oranges makes me really think of Wendy too. I feel like, where's Wendy? Can I see her? There she is. Wendy, I think you should make something like this. Okay.
Yeah. And I even like these.
I was thinking the same thing. I love that. I did buy myself a rosemary tree.
Ooh.
Could get that. Tracy, at like, I think I got mine at Lowe's. They were like half price, $7.
Nice.
It's really nice.
Nice.
And it smells good every time I walk by it.
That might be my Christmas tree this year.
I know. I'm like, I need one of those. Lovely. We love to work with rosemary a lot in like circle and at retreats, and it's just a go-to. Or I've been putting it in my conditioner. So refreshing.
I like rosemary. Rosemary is just as good as sage. It's same level, same clearing, cleansing, smelling good.
Very rejuvenating. So working with oils is another good way to work with that energy. Did I see a ghost walking down your hallway?
Yeah, my husband, he's just getting ready to go upstairs.
All right,
Because all
so.
the animals are gonna follow him into the room.
Yeah, little convoy up the stairs.
Mhm.
All right, now we have Tracy's makings of
Yes.
her altar. Isn't that
This
lovely?
is what I'm starting with this year. This is my it's right next to me, so I'm like looking both. So I love using the astrology charts because it's me and I know exactly what the energy is for the day. And yeah, so this is how I'm altering. This is me being a little baby witch. Is I have an oil that I'm working with, which is Sacred Mountain. I love it. It's really heavy meditative oil for a very heavy meditative type season. I have all my bones, my collection of bones here, you know, the getting into Capricorn season, it rules bones and teeth and, you know, the calcium in the body. So of course I have dead animals all over my house. And a nice slab of wood. Capricorn season again is real woody, earthy. And Denova actually gave me this.
I was gonna say, is there a grid on the bottom of that?
There is.
Do
There
it.
is. If you'd like to see it. So it's got some little
Oh,
magic there. This
I
is from
forgot
one of
what-
our
Yeah,
one of our retreats.
forgot what yours look like.
Yeah, and I got just a nice little black stone, signify Saturn and, you know, the dark winter season, and hold a couple cards. So this is how I'm starting. If you guys want to start using charts and like writing all over them, like I scribble all over mine. I end up like, you know, writing all kinds of intentions and all kinds of like, you know, things that happened or what led me up there. Like, it's almost like this is my journal, you know, it's almost like this is where I'm doing my shadow work reflection, and then where I'm doing my intentions for manifestation. So that's how I like to record keep my altars. So
Actually, I love that. I don't record keep my altars. Now I want to.
I mean, how do you know when you got the thing you wanted, or how do you know if you still want it, or how do you know that you did it, or how do you know, how do you know?
It just tells me it's time to go away. But then I don't have the reflection for later. And then Tracy says, what were you doing in July?
Yeah. So that's how I'm marrying these two languages together. I'm marrying the astrology with the magic. So
Mhm.
there's my stars and my spell work.
You understood the assignment.
Yes.
I don't have an altar to share yet. Any space that I would have for an altar is Jamie and I've got a show on Saturday, and it's kind of overtaking the household right now, but after Sunday I might have something to share. All right, chart time.
Okay, so this winter solstice, it starts at the very first day of Capricorn season, December 21st, and that's universal time. So I don't know what time that is, East Coast time. It's on the 21st, okay? Or I guess, no, it's going to be overnight. I don't know. Time zones. Tracy doesn't do time zones, so I'm sorry. But everything in your actual binder is correct. It's just the brain doesn't do time zones. So as soon as the sun enters Capricorn, it's going to be squaring with the planet Jupiter over here in Aries at this 9 o'clock mark. The planet looks almost like the number 4 is Jupiter. And Jupiter is all about magnifying whatever it touches. It's the great expander. Okay, so having this on the very first day with that brand new sun in Capricorn, both of these degrees are 0, 0. They're both fresh energies. This is a really big solstice. Like, this is a really big energy to get down to business, make some movement. Like, if you're serious about something, this is, you know, a really good serious push forward. It's not serious as in heavy. It's serious as in I'm ready to go. I'm ready to commit. I'm ready to move forward with this thing. So this is a great chart, great time to manifest for actual business. If you're trying to, you know, develop, sell, profit, you know, like actual business structure, this is a great chart. And this is a great chart, just getting down to business. So that's what I'm using it for. It's just getting down to business, getting serious about just life, and initiating new projects. So I love it. I'm encouraging everybody to set some really good intentions to start. This is the start of the year. January 1st isn't the beginning of the year. Winter solstice is the beginning of the year, beginning of the season. And it's a great, great season. I love it. I haven't seen this good of one in a long time. And of course, it's the first one that I'm choosing to really play with.
You know, for those that are interested, I do have in my free resource library, the Planetary Magic workshop, which actually was working with Jupiter. So if anybody wants to add a little extra magic, I can always link you guys to that as well. So I will be doing definitely some reality writing on this day for my business. So that's kind of the energies I'll be working with. And I just literally have a journal where I write everything into reality, and most of what I've written in there has come true, has come to light. So conscious creation, right? Use that energy while it's enhanced for sure.
Yeah. So I'm going to use this, like I said, the most practical thing that I have is I'm going to make some plans for my herb garden that I'm ready to start picking and harvesting next summer. Okay. So that's going to be my one big actual goal. But I have, you know, I feel this season, like I'm going to take my time with it. Like I'm going to take a couple days to actually sit back and reflect on the year. And I'm going to sit back and, you know, what do I actually want going for? Like, I'm going to really make the space for it. It's not something I'm going to do on the fly and what's coming, you know, in the forefront of my mind. Like, for me, I'm getting into very Saturn kind of energies this year. So it is serious. It is responsible. It is talking about actual reality. So, it's talking about maturity. How boring, right? But, I feel like this is a big year of, you know, becoming a real person, coming into the world. So I have some questions for you guys. You know, how are you going to be engaging with this? Like, if you know, are you shutting down a year? You know, are you shutting down an energy, or are you continuing on with something? You know, for me, I feel like I have a lot of shutdown to do. I have a lot of layers of shutdown to do. And, you know, where with what you're shutting down, where did it start? Has it only been a year? Has it been 10 years? Has it been a 30-year thing that you're shutting down? You know, and have you, and just look back at the past year. What was going on last solstice? What did you do last solstice? You know, where did you start from versus where you're ending from? And did you celebrate throughout the year? Did you celebrate all the things that you've accomplished or that you've, you know, achieved or experienced? Like, do you have more room for celebration? Did you not have enough room for celebration? You know, and are there any regrets? You know, right now, like I said, it seems silly that I didn't have my herb garden going over summer, but like, I'm really regretting it right now because I could really use it. All I have right now is just some little swigs of lavender left over from my landlord. I cut him and I brought this into our Stars and Spells. This is all your little sages that I bring in here. I light a little sage stick whenever I do your readings. And I'm like, I need more herbs. So that's all I have left for my season. And it's a real regret, you know, and it's silly, but it's real. And where do you want to go forward? You know, we're talking about shutting down, but now what do you have to look forward to? You know, where the light is coming back now, you know, and the light is growing. What are you building towards, or what are you hoping for? Do you want to make little changes, or do you want to make life changes this year? You know, no wrong answers. It's just, have you even thought of it? You know, or is it just the next thing that's, you know, you're intuitively led to do, or is there something bigger that you want to challenge yourself with? And how big do you actually want to grow? You know, it's so easy to say like my highest potential, or, you know, all these big spaces, but we're not ready to step into it, or we're not ready to receive it. We're really not. We say it nicely and we believe it, but we're not ready. So what are you actually ready to engage with this year.
And
Mhm.
sorry, I want to say, what is your highest potential? Are
Mhm.
you using that kind of
Mhm.
as a cop out, for lack of a better word,
Sure.
right? Do you just kind of, hey, I want to live up to my highest potential. I want to be my best this year. But how much thought have you put into what feels like your best? What
Mhm.
does that look like for you? That's where we really want to start digging.
Yeah.
Steph says big. I'm with you. She asked me that question. I said, I'm gonna 10x my life this year. That was my answer.
And I
This
said,
last year was Saturn as my time lord. So I've done, I've done the year of reconciling and really stepping into different versions of myself and claiming, this inner authority. So, I feel ready for that. And I told her it didn't feel like, kind of for one of the first times in my life, I'm not asking for a 10x of physical, gain, or, the money would be awesome too, right? But it's actually not even my focus. I was thinking, 10x of stepping into my mediumship abilities or intuitive abilities or healing abilities, or 10xing really my relationship of knowing myself and loving myself and accepting myself. That's kind of going to be my focus this year.
and Jen is just finishing her years with Saturn, and I'm just starting. So she's, all ready for this. And I'm like, I'm just ready to be a person this year.
Yeah.
So you guys will be able to see how somebody who's doing Saturn versus somebody who's like, Saturn.
I
So
love
it'll-
Saturn.
Yeah.
You guys will hear all about my love affair with Saturn on the Capricorn webinar.
Mhm.
What does Steph say? Maybe I should wait till I get my chart from Tracy. You can decide too before that,
You
right?
can decide. Yeah. Yeah.
Christine says, can't wait to get my chart too.
Mhm. Yep. I'm working
They're
on it.
coming. They're
Mhm.
coming.
They're coming.
My
So-
readings will probably come just a little bit later, just so you guys know, but give you time to absorb all the other info. You have like a 3-hour webinar coming your way. So
Yeah, mine will be right on time, and you'll be so information overload that you'll probably still wait a week to listen to it anyhow,
Right.
and that's totally fine. It's totally fine. So I'm working on them right now, and right now they're between like 35 and 40 minutes. I've been hitting so many of them at like 38 minutes, and it's not intentional. It's just sometimes I think I'm talking so much and I'm like, oh my God, this has been an hour. And then other times I think I'm talking so little and it's like all the same time. So it's really interesting.
Are we
But,
done with this chart? Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, unless there's any questions that you have about the actual astrology of the solstice. But the next day is going to be the new moon in Capricorn. So make sure you listen to your webinar right away. But yeah, that's all I have for solstice. And I was thinking about,
Stop sharing here.
yeah, I was thinking about like some of the other, pagan holidays, which I don't really know much about. I've heard of Saturnalia, and I just learned about Sol Invictus, which is controversial if it's actually have to do with Christmas or if it has to do with summertime. Once it's Christianized, we never know, right? But Sol Invictus is the birthday of the sun. So, and that's what solstice is, right? It's the light coming back to the sun. Oh,
I
Jamie
like
likes that
that.
one. She likes that one.
Well, because I played with the idea that we got it wrong, and the Holy Trinity is celestial.
Mhm.
What's in the sky, the sun of God. That
Mhm.
is the sun that God created. So like that tickles me. I like that idea.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of astrology in Christianity, all kinds, like the stars of Bethlehem and the Magi. The Magi were astrologers. The Star of Bethlehem, we just had that 2 years ago in 2020, around Christmas in 2020. You could see it up in the sky where Jupiter and Saturn were coming together. Like I watched it for a whole month, them getting close together. Like astrology's all over Christianity. Can you go over again why it's a great time to manifest with Jupiter? Well, and Steph did a ritual with the star. Awesome. Right now, actually, I'll come back to you, Christine. Sorry, Steph. Right now in the sky, Saturn and Jupiter is just starting to get far enough away that they're actually making an aspect. So what you did back in 2020, is starting to actually be seen. You know, like if you planted the seed back then, now like the plant is showing. So, and that's how we're actually getting into stars. Like that's how this year of stars and spells is becoming, because they're actually starting to be functional. Jupiter and Saturn are, and we'll see that collectively start shifting. It's not so battle royale as it's been the last couple of years. Okay, Christine, Jupiter. So Jupiter is a good planet. It's considered the great benefic. So anything Jupiter touches gets bigger. So we like Jupiter. And it just so happens that Jupiter is lining up with the sun so beautifully right now that's why we're looking towards Jupiter. So, but otherwise it's not really a Jupiterian kind of holiday, but
I have a question.
Yes.
If we're in shadow,
Mhm.
is that, and that's like our main area of focus, would that get bigger?
Yep.
Did you hear that, my friends?
Yep.
Yeah, Jupiter's a troublemaker for me.
Me
I'm
too,
already
and-
big.
Yeah, and Jamie's a Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius, we're ruled by Jupiter. But I found with this past year, I was working with Jupiter as my Time Lord. And for me, Jupiter brought more and more and bigger, but I felt like it was too much. And it was just more to be more. It wasn't more and beneficial, it was just more.
That's actually an interesting energy to
Yeah.
witness and be mindful of. I think about, I wish Genova could be here with us, because her and I are in this experimental phase of manifesting. We're doing a manifestation project for one another. And something that was really important to her was like the incremental growth. And it wasn't out of fear. It was just, we don't need to go balls to the wall right now, like that's what felt good for her. And it didn't have to be just all the things right now. She really honed in on her intentions with how she wanted that to feel and look like. So that's a really good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
Let's
that's a
watch
good,
out for that.
yeah, this is a good question, Christine. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Got us on a good tangent. Which I'm good at. getting
That's
us.
not hard to do. For
That's my
us.
adventure.
Right.
But yeah, okay. So where was I? Jupiter in the solstice. Yeah. So what do you want more of? Or yeah.
And
I
we're
want
starting to
more
bring
real.
the light back to all of that,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Oh, I was starting to talk about Saturnalia. So, and the sun, that's where I was, the Sol Invictus, the rebirth of the sun. I tried to look up more of that, and like I said, it kind of got lost in Christianity world, but if you want to sing happy birthday to the sun, go ahead. I think that would be a lovely welcoming into the winter season, especially when the sun is at its weakest and at its darkest. So I like that. Will you teach us our Time Lords? Yes, I'll go through Time Lords. Really on your birthday chart, we'll really dig into it there. But yeah, throughout the year, I'll make mention of it. Maybe I'll do another little video and
Let
show
me
you
grab
all
the
things.
link too, because she does have a workshop. Where did I
Mhm.
put that? Was that a Google Drive?
I think it's in the Google Drive.
Okay. I'll post a link, because that was you did a freebie for anybody, right? The
Mhm.
Time Lord. Okay. I'm going to post a workshop, you guys. It's so informative. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you.
Such good information to know. And, if you are really wanting to embody, engage, work with the energy and support that's there for you, the lessons for the year, this is a great place to start. So let me find that as you chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah. So I admit I don't know anything about Yule. Is that even this holiday too? Is Yule right now? Okay. So somebody else is going to have to take that reign. I know a little bit about Saturnalia from the Romans, and it was like a week-long like festival kind of thing. And when we get into Capricorn season, I go into the cornucopia and the horn of Capricorn, and the Romans celebrated the harvest. Saturn brought the harvest. If you think of Saturn, he holds that big scythe, the grain scythe, and they're celebrating the harvest of the year. Like the hard work is over, and now they're getting into the winter. And Saturnalia was all about even the servants and the slaves came to the table and celebrated with the masters, or the masters even served the slaves. And, they had a week of, a week of sinning, as the, as the Christians would say, and really just had a really nice party for a Saturn week. And I'm kind of down for that. We could do a crazy party week for this solstice. For me, I might feel like every day might be a different theme. Like I might do a party of shadow work today. I might do a party of harvesting another day, or I might do, but I do feel like going into these intentions, I am going to take my time and am going to do a couple days. So like, I felt like I need my own personal Saturnalia. What do I need to shut down, or what do I need to get out of my system, or what do I need to celebrate, or what do I need to harvest, or what do I need to, yeah. So that's all I know about Saturnalia. If anybody wants to have anything else to share.
And there is a little bit about that in the Yule guide as well. I actually can post that link right now too.
And is Yule pretty comparable? Like you have the feasts and you have the whatever. Oh, another thing about Saturnalia is they did sacrifice somebody at the end of it too. But I mean, you're really sacrificing your year, right? You're really
Just a little sacrifice.
just a
big
little,
deal.
just a little sacrificial. But the thing with the person that they sacrificed is they treated them like a god for that week. They gave them all of the pleasures and dreams and blah, blah, blah. And then they killed him. So just a little seasonal sacrifice. So that's what I'm playing with this year. What am I sacrificing? I don't know. Maybe I'll have some more bones to put on my altar.
That's a piece of like what Jen was talking about though, like that feels old.
Yeah.
Like, we know more now.
Mhm.
We're minutely less primitive than we used to be, but progress is progress, right? Like we can pass on information in different ways than spells and incantations too, right? Like, hey, it's best to pick this flower at this time. I don't have to write a poem about it to pass it down to help you remember it. And same with like sacrifice. Like we honestly believed that the land required some sort of sacrifice so it wouldn't kill us, and it killed us anyway. So we know better now. We can sacrifice things like, hey, I ate a chicken today, or that's our sacrifice. We're eating.
Yeah, really. I mean, how people used to bless the food, like thank you food for, providing, thank you chicken, and for giving your life for my life, that's a sacrifice, and that's a blessing, and that's the whole thing all wrapped in one. Like just having, different gratitude practices that way, or even, sometimes the energy workers will, pass over the chicken or the elk or the deer or, whatever is being sacrificed, and really go through in such a, a beautiful death process, so maybe I don't know, now I'm getting dark over my Christmas dinner. Like, we saging the Christmas dinner of all and passing over the spirits of all these animals.
Well, let's talk about bringing some intention into our Christmas meal, right? And if you think about sacrifice, there already was so much natural sacrifice going on in winter. We didn't eat as much, we didn't use as much resource, we didn't have as much energy, right? Right now, Christmas time, we're sacrificing our time and our money and everything else we do. I'm not triggered by Christmas, okay?
Oh, I am.
I'm not triggered, I just don't engage anymore. Although I did have a couple years of trigger, but
well, that's the thing too. That's a Saturn thing for me coming up this year. Is I'm definitely finding some repressed anger that I didn't realize was there around Christmas season. And it's not the celebration, it's just dealing with the world.
you found that at the store the other day, huh?
Yeah, I found that at the store, and I finally Saturned up and said, you don't need to go to the store during Christmas season.
I took a download from that. Was it Jamie? I think it was Jamie. I said on Marco, I think probably last night, I was like, have you ever been into a Ross at Christmas time? For those that have a Ross near them, oh my God, animals. animals.
I know, Ross on a regular day scares the crap out of me. I'm not going in there on Christmas. Hell no. I do 98% of my shopping on Amazon. Or online at the very least. I don't even know. I can't. It's too much stimuli. It's between all the people, the extra decorations, the Christmas music, the cars, I'm like, ah. Sorry.
We digress, I suppose. We're not bashing on Christmas, I swear. Just how we do Christmas or don't do, right?
Yeah.
Jamie said, it's funny. Anyways, do we have any questions, Astro questions, Yule questions? How are you guys celebrating Yule? Do you celebrate? Like I said, I don't do a lot of outward anything. This is really time for myself. And I do make a lot of space for business dreaming too, because that's where my passion is and my creativity. But I did a lot of hard work through the year, and so I can kind of slow down with that a little bit. And as Tracy said, she asked me, did you do any celebrating? I'm like, I guess through travel, if that counts, but taking some time to really realize the journey that I've been on this year, and just quiet time at home, cozy time at home. That's what I really love about this time of year. So how are you guys celebrating, if you do, or not celebrating?
But my family still wants Christmas. I've been a little rebellious the last couple of years, but let's see if can I switch my camera around? Can you see me? I changed up some of my Christmas ornaments to like moons. I don't think you get to see that, can you? Moons, and I got dream catchers here, and I even put little potion bottles full of glitter and stuff on it. And I'm like, I had it a little more witched out last year, but the family was like, we miss like Christmas colors. So I'll ease them into it. That was the compromise. But as soon as I have my way, that tree will be black. But I took our old Christmas tree and spray painted it black. And that's what I'm bringing to our show on Saturday as a decoration. And
We're a whole vibe.
I'm trying to take it back, not necessarily solstice, but bring back the organic part of solstice. Just it's more about nature. It is more about what's going on in the celestials and that sort of thing. I just feel inauthentic when I look like I'm celebrating Christmas. So I've been pulling away from that.
And that's really what our year in Stars and Spells is going to be about, is kind of taking it back your way. What feels right and aligned to you? What feels old to you? And how do you really want to engage with that energy, or do you not want to engage, right? So we're really going to have a huge focus on that all year through all seasons and planetary alignments.
Yeah, well, this is good spell work for Pinterest. Get your Pinterest board. Here's your homework. Here's your
That's my
Pinterest homework.
favorite.
Is what is Christmas? What do you want your Christmas inspiration to look like? Your holiday season inspiration. What do you want to celebrate? Whether it's solstice, whether it's witchy stuff, whether it's this, that, the other. What do you want your season to look like?
I'll add one more thing and then I'll be quiet. But I heard this couple say that they celebrate together. They don't buy gifts for each other, but every Christmas Eve, they like drink some eggnog and they sit down and they plan a trip together. And it's some years that it's just a little weekend away somewhere cheap, and other years it's something a little more extravagant. But that's what they do for each other, is plan a getaway together. And I was like, oh, I like that a lot. So I'm like, okay, for Christmas here on out, I want a stocking full of stuff and I want a trip.
And we really talk about Yeah, we talk about this every year too, right? Like, what traditions do you still feel called to engage in? And do you want to change them a little bit? Do you want to enhance them? So it's not like down with the man and all the traditions got to go. It's what do you want, right? Why are you here? Why are you engaging with this? And I think, was it the Capricorn webinar, Tracy, where I talked about being the curious child, really just there's that reference again, right? Bye, Steph, thanks for joining us. She's got to run. But really asking yourself those questions. Why am I doing what I'm doing? You'll learn a lot of information the more you ask yourself those questions. Is the Capricorn webinar? Oh, yes, ma'am. Next week, right? The 20th?
Yeah, that's the first one on the 21st or 22nd, whatever the time zone is, it'll be in your, it'll be there.
Yeah, so everyone who's in Stars and Spells tier 2 or 3 will get the Capricorn webinar sent out to you. There'll be a link to the webinar and a link to the Capricorn Book of Shadows, which most of it is already in that main Book of Shadows we sent out, but we added a couple extras for the season as we felt called. So yep, that'll be coming out, and Tracy and I had fun playing for like 3-ish hours. It's good stuff though.
I told you it was going to be a long one, and I'm kind of scared about how long it went, because this was kind of a boring month and we didn't have a lot to talk about. So I'm worried about the months where there's
more. We might need to break it out.
2 parts.
Yeah.
Or I just need to shut up and get down to business.
Okay, so if we don't have any questions, should we get into switch gears?
Let's switch. Okay.
And again, if you're not in Stars and Spells and you're still here watching, get your record keeping pen, get your day planner, get a journal, get a crystal. If you want to set some intentions with us for your year, just, whatever we say, kind of tailor that to you a little bit. If it's pertaining to Stars and Spells, just change that up. But we invite you to stay with us and just set some intentions and be in the energy of this magic. So yeah, I have my very overpriced Stars and Spells binder. I had to go the fancy route and get one made. And it wasn't until after I clicked buy that I said, why didn't I just get, a $5 planner with the plastic sleeve and put the paper in there? I thought it was just going to feel a little bit more fancy. So anyways,
Mine's
everything. Everything goes in one binder for me. Everything. It just gets a different section.
Yeah. Get your little tabbies out and just flip the pages. Yeah. Yep.
Jen says, I went in Etsy and saw the kit in my cart. Are you talking about the Poppet, the manifestation Poppet kit? We'll be doing that in January. I'm so excited for that. They do still have some of those available. So side note. Okay.
All right, so Stars and Spells. So I had first said, because I was getting nervous about how many people were going to sign up. I was getting nervous, and I put a deadline that today was going to be, kind of the last day to sign up for it. But I have space, I have time. If you want to sign up through the weekend, I have space for more readings. We're a little over 50% of the way full, but I can do it. I can do it. All right, so binder intentions.
And real quick, anybody who wants to learn more about Stars and Spells or join us, I will also put that link in the chat.
I'm already Marie Kondoing, bringing it in, wake it up. Or, how they do on, I feel like Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus, book. I'm just talking to my book.
The hope is that we all feel like that by the end of the year.
So maybe that's your intention. Maybe it is your little spirit guide. Maybe it is your little familiar. Maybe you give your book a name. Jen and I had signed up for like an actual Astro magic class with this crazy ass woman, and she was talking about how to do daimon names, and daimons are like the actual spirit of the thing that you're trying to birth, and you use different astro mathematics in order to get the symbols of, and it was a lot, but why don't we just pick our own name for your book if you would like, or you can just
that was too much magic for me.
Yeah, it was
too much.
So maybe this one's called Saturn for me, you know, or just something simple. You can give it a name. You can draw a sigil, you know, with some of your intentions or some of your, you know, feelings, emotions, whatever you want to put into it. But really, like, let's just ground and think about why you were attracted to this container and what was exciting about it. What was, you know, leading you to join? What are you here for? You know, that's a big intention to remember throughout the year. And what do you want to, you know, grow into, or what are your expectations, or what are your, you know, possibilities, right? Are you here for learning? And what are you learning? Is it for yourself? Or are you just here to learn information? Or are you just here to learn about the world and things outside of you or things inside of you? Are you here to relate, whether, again, more to yourself or to these celestial gods or to something else? If you're here to, you know, I talk a lot about knowing the patterns. Well, if you're here for patterning or repatterning or unpatterning or whatever, you know, do you want to do it the hard way? Do you want to do it the easy way? You know, how do you want to experience that? And especially, how do you want to engage this energy? What are you actually going to listen to? What are you willing to listen to? How are you willing?
Sit with that.
Yeah.
Sit with that. Because there was a big energy when she said that. What
Mm-hmm.
are you willing to listen to?
I'll tell you, I don't listen to much, and I regret it all the time. I know better. I have the tools, I have the technology, and I still don't freaking listen. It takes me falling down the stairs or getting slapped upside the head for me to be like, all right, I'm paying attention.
Mhm. I always talk about how I take the really long way to learn the lessons, but my theory is I do it so you don't have to.
So how do you want to show up for this energy? Do you just want to do it in meditation once a month, or, you know, in the evenings, or just reflecting on your day? Do you want to be engaged on, you know, at a daily basis? Do you want to set intentions every morning? Do you want to find the gods in every opportunity? Or do you want to engage through creativity and through journaling and through actual manifesting with magic? I mean, everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to have different intentions and different experiences within the year. So how do you want to welcome this celestial energy into your life? Where do you have space for it? So for me, you know, I've been doing this a few years now, so I'm definitely doing something a little different than the beginners. But for me, I'm in this space of kind of getting really serious with the divination. And this is new for me, but I'm really, like, this year I am welcoming the gods. Saturn is a god that is coming into my front door. Mercury is a god that is delivering me a message. Venus is a goddess that is bringing me joy and pleasure and all these beautiful things and abundance. So, and I'm really building relationships with them and with this energy. I'm not just experiencing it, and I'm not just going with the flow. I am giving and taking and fighting and making up and committing and, you know, and not listening with all these energies. And I'm really trying to bring in some real spaces of honor for them in my life. So for me, I feel like I'm practicing like some high divination here this year. And I know that could be like, whoa, way out there for some of you other guys. And that's totally fine, but that's just where I am with it. So Jen, did you have
So for me,
intentions for this?
mine's a little bit similar to what Tracy's saying about taking the divination deeper. So something I've been feeling really called to is taking my tarot practice much deeper. And it wasn't in a way of like giving readings. So I'm like, what does that, you know, really mean? And then we start creating stars and spells, and I was very drawn to the zodiac, the planetary archetypes with the tarot. So really integrating the two together, right? And then I had brought this planner before my stupid binder. It's not stupid, it's lovely. But this is the ritual planner. And it's, you know, for daily tarot practice, right? And I got the stamps too, so you can stamp what card you pulled. But what I didn't know at the time was it has all of this, you know, astrology stuff in the front of it. And so that's already been putting itself together, right, this whole time. And so mine will be the same in terms of the divination piece, and really learning what tarot is asking of me, why, you know, what's coming up here for this, because it continues to come up. So that's going to be an area of focus. Another area is simply experiencing my chart, experiencing myself through astrology, through the connections and relationships with the planets. My first intro to planetary magic was when I did stumble upon some Jupiter spell work and rituals for expansion. And I really wanted that for the business. And it was such an expansive you know, finding the spell work, creating an altar, and the ritual I grabbed was really connecting with the energy of Jupiter. So it was, you know, a nice deep practice there, and it just really intrigued me and felt expansive. So more of that. But I'm actually feeling, whereas Tracy's like, it's a give and take, it's a relationship, I'm not just flowing. For me, you know, I told her I'm having a hard time like saying where I want to be in 6 months right now. I am very much in this flow state and in this, let's see what happens. And what I told her was right now, I feel very satisfied. That's new, right? I'm like, what? I don't have all these, you know, big needs and desires. What is this? What is this space? So, you know, I feel as if I will learn presence through all of this as well. So that's kind of where I'm going with that as of right now. That could change in a week. I'll keep you updated.
Yeah. So does anybody have any intentions right off the top of their head that they're ready to share or willing to, or have, you know, want to think about it further? But you know, going into this, what I hope that I can give you on a nicely written astrology chart is really the daily opportunities that you have. And some days, you know, it's not going to be a life-changing transit. You know, some days it might just be a mundane, like I've even circled some days for people like this might be a shitty day, like just notice, you know, or this one's just a really big day for just feeling good, or, you know, like very, some energies I'm giving you are very nondescript. Just be on the lookout for this kind of thing. And some days are, all right, we're making a tough decision. You know, not every day is a big day. And sometimes there will be periods of kind of nothingness. And then other times will be, oh my God, that was a near-death experience. Maybe I should have looked at the warning sign. You know? So you guys are going to get dang near an everyday transit for the next 365 days. So as it relates to your chart and as it relates to the world. So not every day is big for every person, but if it's in your chart, it's a big thing.
Jen says, I'm diving deep into myself so that I can heal others.
Love it. Love it.
You know, one thing too that really has been super expansive for me this year is learning about how I am as a healer through my chart. Learning a lot about that and a lot about where your most powerful transformative skills will lie. Skills, abilities, whatever you want to call that, healing powers. So you'll probably get a lot out of this too, Jen, you know, to bring into your business as well. So love that. That's fascinating to me. Can't wait. Same.
All right. Well, guys, that's all I have prepared for this evening. If I would love to hear if you want to share, or you can keep it, you know, like totally private, up to you. But I'd love to know what you're putting into your binders, what you're, you know, kind of. My cat is totally distracting me. Can you hear him? You know, what your intentions are. What are you hoping to get? What are you hoping to engage with? What are you hoping to connect with? So I'd love to, you know, talk about this. Right now, I'm recording myself. I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, I miss people. Like, I just want them to talk to me. So I can't wait for you guys to actually get your recordings and be like, you know, have 1,000 questions, or either be excited or either be like, Tracy, what the hell are you talking about? Can you just re-explain everything? So I'm excited to engage. I'm excited to play. I'm excited to see how the gods are visiting each of us.
Yes. Shelley says, I'm getting more in tune and honing my intuitive and mediumship skills. She says, I've scared my best friend a couple times with some dreams that were visions. Isn't that fun? I guessed one of my Christmas presents to my mother the other day. I didn't guess, I knew it. I said, you might not know this about me, but I'm a little bit psychic.
Well, one night we were talking and she got her nipples pierced. And I had a dream that she was telling me that one got caught in her shirt that she was wearing and it had twisted, and she woke up and literally she started to say to me, she says, you know, I got to tell you. I said, what, that your nipple ring got caught in your shirt and twisted and all that last night? She's like, yeah, exactly that. I was like, I already know.
Yeah,
I already know these
Shelley's
things.
mediumship and intuitive abilities are on point. So I'm really looking forward to you, stepping into that at deeper levels too, and witnessing that. That's amazing. Love it.
That's cute. Covering up. from
Right.
Shelley.
Sympathy pains over here. Tell your friend we all feel for her.
Okay. She ended up changing the rings, but it was just funny. I was like, oh yeah.
Then maybe next time you got to give her a warning.
I didn't. There was another one I had too, and when she was on her trip in Texas, there was another one. I had a dream of her and her boyfriend. And I asked her about it because we're close like that. She's like, how did you? And I'm like, I don't want to know. I already know because I saw. I already know.
See, I wish I can get dreams like that. I wish I can get dreams that like are productive, or like are informative. My dreams are really like just reconciling a lot and like clearing a lot. It's stuff that already happened, and it's like very Akashic type stuff, but it's not like future, or it's not like applicable to anybody else.
But what I've noticed about the dreams is that like it's almost like I'm feeling whatever, like it's like I'm watching, but I'm feeling at the same, like it's happening to me, is what it feels like. I don't know.
Interesting. So from your perspective, I like that. Ooh, let's play with that. Let's play with that. I like that.
Yeah. So I want to hone in on that and
Awesome.
tweak that.
Love it. So ladies and gentlemen, really spend some time pondering these questions that Tracy's posed for us today. Sit with your binders, your pens, whatever you're working with, the energy of the container that works too. And really set some intentions for stars and spells for this next year. And infuse that into your object. Engage with it, right? And how do you want to sit in ritual space, sacred space? Do you want to light a candle and journal? Do you want to work with some oils? Do you want to bring your solstice celebrations into your stars and spells binder blessings? Just start tuning into the energy of this next year.
Yeah.
And that's all.
Yeah.
Do it. All right. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all I got. So thanks for joining us again. And next time you'll see our smiling faces on recording for the next 3 hours of your life.
Yes. And then another 25 minutes where we talk about the magics. So yes. Okay. Any questions? All right. Well, thank you for joining our solstice chat today. Jamie, did you have a question?
No,
Oh, okay. I didn't know you went on unmute, so I didn't know. I didn't want to cut you off just in
I
case.
just wanted to say goodbye when you were ready.
Okay, just making sure. All right, my friends.
Show me your altars, show me your celebrations, show me your foods, show me whatever you're doing. For
Yeah,
this.
come
This is-
into the Wayward Magic group and share with us all the winter magic, celestial magic, planetary magic, whatever you're working on. Share the magic. Share it with us. Okay.
Okay.
Have
See
a
you
wonderful
soon.
solstice and great rest of your night. Awesome weekend. And yeah, we will see you all very soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.